Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. I just want to clarify a few things that I said in the video that I made earlier today. And I do apologize for the title. I was in a rush. I had to get ready for work. So I was in a rush, so I was speaking a little fast. So like some of my words got twisted. I was using the wrong words. But I want to slow it down and clarify a couple of things. A couple of misconceptions, just to show how we've been duped as a people, and to also answer a couple of questions that I've been asked, and clarify a few comments that was made to me. So alhamdulillah, man, I thank Allah Azza wa Jal for Islam. So one, in the Deen of Islam, I want to start off with this part. A lot of people like to say the first thing that you're going to be judged on is Salah, right? The Day of Judgment. There's conditions for Salah. So let's bring it down to Salah, right? So, some of the conditions of Salah is one, you have to purify your garments from filth. Your garments should be clean, right? Also, they have to cover your aura. For a man, aura is what's considered nakedness. For a man, from your belly button. If your belly button shows, and below your belly button, this clues in the back. So the part of your back that's even with your belly button. Anything up under that is nakedness. Down to your knees. If your actual knee is showing, that is nakedness. So let's clarify these things. So, if you're in Salat and you takbir and your shirt comes up to where what's below your navel is showing, and your boxers, your underwear, and it's in the back, that's nakedness. Keep in mind, we can't lose sight of the fact that we standing in front of Allah Azza wa Jal in worship. We worship in our Lord. This is but nakedness. If you go into ruku, right, and your boxers, all of this part of your back is showing, plus the crack of your butt and possibly some of your butt cheeks in front of Allah Azza wa Jal, that's nakedness. When you go down and you prostrate, you got your forehead on the ground, the same as ruku. Your back showing, your butt cheeks, part of your back that's below your belly button, which is nakedness. Some of your butt cheeks, your underwear, your crack, and then when you come back into your sitting like this, sometimes you can still see it. That's nakedness. You standing before Allah Azza wa Jal. And when you takbir, for those who raise their hands 3 times, and then some who come up out of prostration and then they raise their hands again, your shirt coming up, that's nakedness. Now we just referring to the Salah. You standing in front of Allah Azza wa Jal, right? So I'm not saying, anybody who listened to me clearly, I never said a thobe was mandatory. What I said is a thobe is legislated in the way that it covers everything. Some of these clothes that people wearing goes against Quran and Sunnah. It goes against it. It's haram. Now, let's just address the thobe concept, because we have been duped and put in our head that it's Arab garbs. Does those originate in in Arabia? First and foremost, go back to the oldest pictures possibly that people started painting, even when the Rasul sent the people to the righteous king who was a Christian. You go to some of those countries, they have pictures and paintings of who they depicted to be Isa alayhi salam. When you go and look at these pictures, they had coins. Go look at some of those oldest pictures. Even when you look at the pictures that when they started to make them blonde hair and blue eye, what did this picture, this depiction, what did he have on? He had on a thobe. Any picture you see that's supposed to be depicting, I'm going to use the term Jesus just for the purpose of this video. He got on a thobe. Unless he on the cross and some of this is ripped off, but then you see the bottom part of it, it's a thobe. My point is, then you go and look at any Catholic priest. What he got on? He got on a thobe. You go look at any monks that live in a monastery. What they got on? They got on thobes. They might be big, woolly. They have thobes on. All the way to before you can think about Islam. So when you know about Sirat al-Mustaqim and you look at all those old paintings or anything that they had of very religious people, even the paintings that they tried to make of Isa alayhi salam mother, Miriam, she was garbed up. This was the dress of religious people that was on the form of Sirat al-Mustaqim before Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Why? Because it covers the aura. When you go and look at the stories of Adam, what was the first thing that happened to them once that they realized that there was nudity? They covered their private parts in front of each other and before Allah Azza wa Jal. They covered their private parts, man. These things is legislated. When I'm saying legislated in the Sharia, where I'm gonna come to Islam. So I'm addressing this thing because one, this thing, when just go through the history and you look at the trade, the way the Arabs and stuff started trading. We love to say, so like my man said in the comments, good brother, man. I got a lot of respect for the brother, and I appreciate him watching my videos. But he said, even the Kuffar wear thobes, they wear beards. Okay, alhamdulillah. The Kuffar made Hajj before the Muslims, before it was implemented on the Muslims, ordained for the Muslims. The Kuffar made Hajj. The Kuffar used to worship Allah Azza wa Jal without partners. Do that mean we shouldn't do it? Do that mean that we shouldn't make Hajj? The Kuffar used to fast. It wasn't for Ramadan. Do that mean that we shouldn't fast? Just because the Kuffar used to do something don't mean that we shouldn't do it. The fact that a Kuffar wore a thobe, but go and look at where these forms of dress came from. This was the dress of religious people. Even to this day, right now, just to show you that it's not an Arab thing, the Christian kings and them and stuff that was in Ethiopia, guess what they wore? Thobes. At least what we would consider to be what we would call a thobe. They wore izars. These was the dress of religious people to cover their aura. So I'm not sitting up saying this make you a Muslim, but it do identify you as a Muslim, and it also shows who your allegiance is to. Your allegiance is to Islam and its deen, right? It affiliates you with Islam. And it also protects you from different things. Now, when you go to the hadith, I'm a person who believes in the hadiths. I read them, I study them, I go through them. Rasulullah, you have hadiths, the book of dress, not just for the women but for the men. And then in the Quran ayats, you have certain ayats where it refer to you about the clothes that you've been ordered to pray in, that you should walk around in. Take those same clothes to you, put those same clothes on when you go to the masjid. These is Quran ayats. So the Rasul instructed us what to put on. Yes, they had pants, so they had different forms of a shirt, not necessarily like what our shirts look like. But the Rasul instructed us to wear and put on certain type of things when we pray. And a part of that commandment was also putting certain things on to be opposite of the disbelievers. So what we was doing, like they used to wear izars a certain type of way, the Rasul said we gonna wear ours like this. Even with like the leather socks, they wore the leather socks, but they did them a certain way. So the Rasul said we gonna do it this way. See, when you have to go through and look at the history of certain things, people started to change certain things because other religions was doing it and they didn't want to identify with them. Like a lot of us don't know this. When you look at the origins of a belt, like the big leather belt, this was an origin of a certain group of Christians. They started to do that because they didn't want to look like the other people. That's why when you see a Santa Claus suit, and Santa Claus was considered to be a saint, that's why that suit has that big leather belt with the big buckle on it to symbolize he was a saint. These big belts like that affiliated them with their religion. It didn't start off as a fashion. Other people was using a rope. That's why when you see particular type of monks, Christian monks, with the big woolly robe, nothing but a thobe with a hood on it, what kind of belt they got on? They got strings tied around their waist. And then when these religions started to have beef and break off, okay, now we want to be Protestant, now we want to be this, and all these other things, they started to distinguish their saints with these big leather belts. Just go through and look at the history. So my point is, we so stuck on because we've been told that this is Arab culture. Even if Arabs was wearing a particular type of thobe or whatever, the Rasul made sure what the way we put ours on was distinguished from them. All you got to do is go look at the hadiths. Now, secondly, we got to look at the commandments of us to cover our aura. Now, having pure clothes. One, in Al-Fatiha, this going to address the pure clothing. In Al-Fatiha, when we recite in Al-Fatiha, we're asking Allah, we're making a dua to Allah Azza wa Jal to keep us away. Don't let us go astray on the path of those who has earned his anger or the ones who went astray. Right? We don't want to be on the path of those who earned Allah's anger. We don't want to be on the path of those who have went astray. Right? Now, whether you want to just limit that to the Jews, the Christians, if you want to limit it to those two, which is definitely more than just those two. But if you want to limit it to those two, I'm just going to use the term the kuffar. The kuffar have earned Allah's anger, and the kuffar that had particular forms of religion that came from Sirat al-Mustaqim that didn't turn into offshoots, you know, like individuals who just started worshiping shirk and idols. You know what I'm saying? Different statues, Buddhists. You don't think those people earned Allah's anger? You don't think those people astray? So they up on all type of shirt. So my point is, we can take a big kafir, someone who has earned Allah's anger, someone who has went astray. They might even be an atheist. They might not even believe that Allah even exists, and take them and put them or buy a shirt with these particular people on it. And then we stand up in Salat before Allah Azza wa Jal and takbir Allahu Akbar with individuals on our clothes that earned Allah's anger, that went astray, people that Allah is not pleased with. But then because we feel like we don't have some little dirt or some filth on our shirt, that's filth. That's filth. You stand now, if you want to walk around in that, that's your choice. But you standing before Allah Azza wa Jal. I guess we tend to forget that. When you standing up in Salah, you standing in front of Allah Azza wa Jal. How you gonna stand in front of Allah Azza wa Jal with big kafirs all on your shirt? Now, there's hadiths about the ones who deal with images of things that Allah created as far as humans and animals. I haven't seen anything as far as trees, grass. What they do is say anything that had a soul in it, right? So there was like, they had like little curtains and different things that had birds and different stuff on them, right? The angels wasn't able to come into the Rasul house because they had these birds. We talking about innocent birds, right? Or whatever the little animals was that was on it. The angels couldn't come in because these images was on these curtains hanging up in the house. This is how I did. So they took them down and flipped them inside out. There's some hadith that says some of them they flipped them inside out where the images wasn't showing and made pillowcases out of them. But the images are not showing. There's some hadith that says some of them they took them and hung them down. And like what you have like a kitchen cabinet or whatever, like how we got doors, they flipped them inside out and then they put them down there where they not hanging up in the house as like curtains or like something as a door, right? But the hadith furthers on and say that the individuals who put these images on there, who draw these type of these type of images and human beings and all this type of stuff and put them on pictures, put them on clothes, put them on curtains, Allah on the day of resurrection, on the day of judgment, Allah is going to beat them severely and tell them to put life in them. To put life in them. Now, if this was an issue with some regular little animals, what about a despicable human being in the eyes of Allah? We might love them because of what they was to our culture, right? This whatever race you are, we all have some type of people, some actors, some to the point where basically we actually idolizing them. They be our idols, our role models, but we don't think we worship them. How can you stand in, like, well, let's say for instance, and I don't want to be bogus, but let's take an individual like Biggie Smalls for instance, a person who says in his raps, "You look so good that I'll suck on your daddy's private part. I want to suck your daddy's private parts." Things like this. I'd rather go to hell because I don't want to be a goody-goody or something like that. So he say something like that about, you know what I'm saying, in his raps. Whether he just rapping, right? Now imagine you got him on your shirt and then you standing in front of Allah Azza wa Jal with a person. We ain't even supposed to imitate the kuffar, but you got a big kafir on your shirt. talking about Allahu Akbar. Now, cool, if you want to walk around in that and if you want to wear that, that's fine. But if you finna go pray in front of Allah, put something on over that. Now, and if you making these things, if you drawing these type of pictures and making this stuff and taking these pictures and putting them on shirts and all that, you need to have some fear of Allah Azza wa Jal, especially if you making money off of it. Especially if you making money off of it. So that's what I'm saying. And then this weakness is being instilled into the youth. Now, certain individuals, me speaking on the thobe, is the thobe wajib? No, because not necessarily, because there's no punishment if you don't wear it. But is it a reward in wearing a thobe? Absolutely. Because one, it's in accordance with the Sunnah. These is things that the Rasul told us to wear, told us to pray in. And what's also in touch with that is we being opposite the disbelievers. We being opposite of the disbelievers. Now, just because they adapted that or they started to do certain things, and they may have the same clothes on, but they do them for different purposes, they wear it for different things, that's something entirely different. So, when you look at the conditions of your prayer, purifying your clothes, your guards, because you finna stand in front of Allah Azza wa Jal. How can you stand in front of Allah Azza wa Jal with a filthy person, with filthy images all on your shirt? And if you're going to have that stuff on, keep a thobe on you and throw it on. Now, some of the issues that I have, and with me addressing the thing is, when it's people who want to wear thobes. When I tell y'all, this young brother who came in to this class, thobe, kufi, my first time ever seeing this brother that I can recall. So as they in the room, I said, so how long y'all been Muslim? This brother said, I took my shahada yesterday. Yesterday. I took my shahada yesterday. We was meeting on Saturday. The man took his shahada on Friday and was throwed up on Saturday. Now I'm informing these young cats, I want to inspire one of y'all to go overseas and study. Because we need, in Illinois, we need it bad, man. We need it bad. Our community needs it bad, man. Seriously. Now I see the strength in this young boy. And this young brother is a soldier. All the way with it. You can see it in his eyes, his demeanor. And now he thobed up. And individuals gonna take that away from him. Every single time he came to class, he was thobed up. I mean, that's alhamdulillah to me. Why sit down and start saying, now, this is what I'm saying, me personally, I'm scared to wear a thobe. I feel like a weirdo because I got a thobe on. Not, okay, the Kufars used to wear it also, or this type of dialect. That don't make you religious. But I'm really scared to wear one. Some kafirs might jump on me for having a thobe on. But because I had this weakness in me, and then I see a little young cat about 16, 17 years old, soldier, ready to be a soldier for the deen. And his heart ain't pumping no Kool-Aid. He in the streets, throwed up. That's dawah. That's dawah. That dude has the potential to mess around and become the leader of the future of the Ummah in this city. But instead, people want to instill weakness in them because they don't have the heart to walk around with a throw bone. Oh, you don't need to do that. Oh, you don't have to wear that to be a good Muslim. Quit taking that man barakots away from him. You see what I'm saying? Those are things that I have an issue with. Then like the brother said in my comment, that the Prophet Muhammad only wore his pants above his ankles because he didn't want to get no dirt on him. Okay, me personally, I never came across that hadith. You know what I'm saying? I never came across that hadith. But that's enough for me to say, well, I like to follow the sunnah. So I'm going to wear my pants above my ankle because I don't want to get any dirt on them either. Rasul didn't want to get no dirt on his pants, so he wore them above his ankles. I'm going to wear my pants above my ankles because I don't want any dirt on them either. Although I'm going to go with what I read in the hadith was legislated. And when the Rasul said, when he was instructing people how to wear your lower garments, and he said where they should go, even if I buy a pair of shorts for the summertime to wear under my stove, to wear under my camise, my pants even still come to the part where he said, because I don't want none of my knees showing. You know what I'm saying? Because I know it's nudity. I know it's nudity. You see what I'm saying? Because that's part of your aura. So I just wanted to clarify those type of things right there. Now, just keeping it in the salat thing. If you want to walk around like that, man, do your thing. But no ifs, ands, buts, or maybe. The authentic hadiths that I've read in every single book of hadith, Bukhari, Muslim, anything that is below your ankle is in the fire. Now, if it's below your ankle and it also drags, and that arrogance is there when you have to look at what really arrogance is, and you have a little thing, well, I feel like this look better. I don't care what the Rasul say. My pants look better this way. I don't care what the Rasul say. People make fun of me. You too arrogant to do it. Now if it's below your ankles, it's in the fire. If it drags on the ground, all because you too arrogant to wear your pants above your ankles, then you done put yourself in a position. I just read one version of the hadith where Allah won't look at you, but the other versions of the hadith say not only will Allah not look at you, Allah is not going to talk to you either. I'm a strong believer in the hadiths. I fear that. Now people want to say hadiths ain't real, hadith superstition, the Rasul just didn't want any dirt on his pants. Fine. Alhamdulillah. But I know better than that, respectfully. And again, if I read a hadith where it said the Rasul kept his pants above his ankles because he didn't want dirt on them, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to keep my pants above my ankles because I don't want to get dirt on them either. Because see, one thing you have to understand, the Quran was revealed over a certain period of time. So while the Quran was being revealed, the Rasul actions is being paid attention to. If the Rasul would have did something that Allah Azza wa Jal didn't approve of, he would have got corrected in the Quran al-Kareem. Was they getting corrected? Was the Rasul getting corrected for telling people this is nakedness? Don't pray with your shoulders out? No, there's no correction. There's no admonishment for that. Did the Rasul get admonished for saying anything below your ankles is in the hellfire? They even used the example of Qarun, a person in the Quran who dragged his garment and Allah opened the earth up and swallowed him. That's in Quran al-Kareem. So what comes with it? If a person was dragging his garments, the story of him in the Quran, who dragged his garments. And Allah opened the earth up and swallowed, and had the earth swallow him, where he say he just gonna be falling to the day of judgment, to the day of resurrection. We fine? We cool? It's an example in the Quran. But due to individuals' weakness, they want to instill this into some new Muslims. This man took his shahada on Friday and was throwed up on Saturday. I didn't even see him that Friday. He could have possibly been throwed up that Friday when he went and took his shahada. I don't know. I didn't see him. You know what I'm saying? Him and another cat who was sitting right next to him. Throwed up. Soldiers. They wasn't pumping no Kool-Aid. They wasn't sitting around talking about they feel weird and they feel like people looking at them crazy. What if the Kafirs might jump on them? Cool. Now, like I say, this is coming from people who feel that way, and they trying to talk other people out of doing it. It's a different story if you have, like, you know, if your heart ain't pumping Kool-Aid and saying, you know, you ain't got to be a good Muslim to wear that because you really feel that way. But you saying it because your heart pump Kool-Aid and you ain't got the heart to do it. You feel like a goofy. Oh, man, my job, man, I'm in here rubbing elbows. I ain't going to be able to rub elbows with them in a thobe. Cool. Just say that. But don't talk anybody else out of doing it that got the heart to do it. You're making a mockery of the deen and you just don't know it because you go to authentic hadiths. There's Quran ayahs on what to put on. These people covering their aura the right way. Now let's just go into some of these clothes of the kuffar, where we definitely imitating the kuffar in dress. A lot of these clothes and stuff right now in 2024, they was designed and made by gay men, and they was designed for men to accentuate the shape of their butt so that they can look attractive to other gay men. Look at lowrider jeans. You telling me a Muslim man can run around in those lowrider jeans that come to show some of your butt? Tight pants, holes all in them by your thighs, hole all by your knees. As a Muslim man, you got your thighs showing in your jeans? Your thighs and stuff showing in your jeans? And they super snug on you. They fitting you exactly like a female in some Daisy Dukes. They just pants. They just as tight. They just as tight. They ain't no different. And we ain't talking about down around the leg by the ankle. We talking about all up around through here. Man, to see a grown man stand up. To see a grown man stand up and had to do his pants like this, like he jumping into him, like some of the brothers, you know, no disrespect to them, but some of the brothers who done had a little female that had a little thickness on her and like to wear them tight jeans, and they get up and put them clothes on, they had to do their pants like this because they so tight they had to jump into them. To see a grown man get up with some jeans and stuff on so tight they got to do like this. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. But we oppress the women. It ain't permissible for y'all to dress like men. But it's permissible for you to dress like a woman? Or you can't wear them Jordans. Them was made for men. You can wear them tight jeans, though. Them jeans was made for women. They just in a man's size. Just like them Jordans. It's a man's shoe, but they was made in a woman's size to fit a woman's feet. Them female clothes y'all putting on. Buying these old medium shirts just to sit right here where your waist start. So that you can see an individual, he got his pants on his belt, his shirt touching right here at the top of his pants. You can still see his belt. Anytime he get up, he got to pull his shirt down like this. Come on, man. When for a Muslim man, from right here is my belly button. Right here It's around where the top of my pants is starting. Although it's dark, y'all can't see it. That's nudity. So when you have a shirt that's just touching the tip of your waist belt, the front and the back, and every time you get up, your shirt moving, you talk beering, oh, that's nakedness, man. That's nakedness. So like I said, if you're not going to wear a thobe or a big shirt, the Muslim, like the Indian version of a thobe, then put on some clothes, man, that's loose, that's fitting. When you go through and start to looking at the conditions of the clothing that you're supposed to wear, it speaks on it. They not supposed to be tight. They not supposed to be all that form-fitting, male and female. You're standing in front of Allah Azza wa Jal. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. I'm finna stand in front of Allah. Cats gold, Allah necklaces and all this stuff on. Muslim men can't even wear gold. You got a gold Allah necklace sitting up on a big old picture of Biggie Smalls in the masjid. Allahu Akbar. You ain't supposed to imitate the kuffar. What you doing with a big old huge kafir on your shirt? Praying to Allah in it. This is some of the reasons why the Rasul, that's why you can't have any, you ain't gonna see no real pictures of the Rasuls and the companions. Like the Rasul said, hey man, don't draw no pictures of me. Don't draw me nothing, man. I don't want to bear the burden of what might go on to me. And don't make my grave no shrine. Don't be putting no images and stuff of me out there. People might start worshiping, man, and then, that might give me some type of punishment. You know what I'm saying? This is why, man, you can't take, man, somebody sit up and get to starting to have me all on their clothes and all that stuff, man. Come on, man. You can't, if you can't put Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam on your shirt, if you can't put Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, Omar, Othman, if you can't put them on your shirt, how can you have Biggie Smalls, Al Capone, Snoop Dogg? Well, we just gonna stick with people that's not alive, who affair has been clear, died on Kufr, lived through Kufr, najis, spiritually impure, they najis. Biggie Smalls, man, Tupac, all these different, King Von. And I'm not trying to disrespect the people who done passed away, but if you can't put the Rasul on your shirt and make salat in it, why can't you have these individuals on your shirt making salat? Especially in the house of Allah. Why would you walk in the house of Allah with these type of clothing on? Why would you spend money on that? Come on, man. Come on, man. Like, so that's all I'm saying, man. That's the point in my video, and that's the part I want to clear up. We can take it away from how you want to walk around. You want to walk around in that, man, that's on you. Even if you want to pray in it, that's still on you. But all I'm saying is, fear Allah. Fear Allah. Go back to the conditions of salat, man. Get in a new Shahada class or something. Cats sitting up, like how the females talk about, and see it crack me up. Females talk about people in gray sweatpants, right? You can see a man private parts, this and that, if they got on gray sweatpants or different color sweatpants and all that. And then cats running around, Muslim men running around in sweatpants with no type of t-shirt, even if it ain't nothing to be seen there. I got some gray sweatpants, right? But they the real big ones that used to have the pockets on the side, right? And I cut the bottoms off where they above my ankles. once females started making a big thing about how they could see men in gray sweatpants, I stopped wearing them outside. You know what I'm saying? When I work out in the house or something, I put them on when I work out in the house or something. I don't even wear them outside, even if I got a throw or something on, just because. And that's, you know what I'm saying? But you got these individuals in these sweatpants and all this other type of stuff, man. And then they got a shirt that come right here, or the sweatpants that got like the sweater that come with them. Sweater coming right here. They get up, they got to pull their sweater and stuff down. That's nudity, man. You can see all the print of their butt. They mess around and, you know, damn material, man. I ain't trying to be funny, man, but I done seen cats get up, man, sweatpants on, man. Sweatpants all in they butt and stuff, man. Like, come on, man. Come on, man. Digging your pants and stuff out of your booty is real feminine, man. You know, like, come on, man. Wait, man, get put on what's legislated, man. So when I'm saying what's legislated, I'm talking about the way that your body is not revealing and is covered. I'm not saying the thobe is mandatory. And if these individuals is going to be talking to these young cats about not wearing thobes or the big shirts, the things that's legislated as far as the way they cover your body, they clean, there's no images on them, there's no alligators, or you know, there's no polo dude on them, they clean, there's nothing wrong. It may be a few little designs in the stitches. You know what I'm saying? There's none of that. You ain't gonna be seeing how they hips. You ain't got to worry about your knees showing where you in ruku and your butt crack out. You in prostration before Allah Azza wa Jal. Just imagine that. Imagine standing in front of Allah Azza wa Jal in worship, not in judgment, where everybody gonna be naked, but you call yourself worshiping Allah with your butt crack out. I tell you what, anybody who don't think anything wrong with it, I tell you what, if your parents is still alive, go bend over in front of your mama with your butt crack out. Will you bend over in front of your mama with your butt crack out? I think not. Not intentionally. And I bet you if she look at you and say, boy, pull them pants up, I bet you pull them up. Do the same thing for Allah Azza wa Jal, man. Come on, man. What is we doing, man? So, you know, I'm like I said, man, I'm gonna stop doing these type of videos, man. I'm gonna do a couple of books, man. This right here is a real important book. It's called The 4 Principles of Shirk. And this one is explained by Sheikh Abdul Aziz bin Abdullah bin Baz. I went through this one. It was so beautiful. And keep in mind, this one right here, the beauty of it is also, it got the Arabic in it. So, you know, like for the ones who know how to deal with the Arabic, if it's a little bit of weakness in the English or whatever. So the Arabic is in it, the book, and then it goes to the explanation with the Arabic. But it's so beautiful. I went and got this one. It's the same book, but it's explained by stock for a lot. Dang, my notes done came up out of it. I done dropped my notes, man. I don't know what pages they was on. Alhamdulillah. I got some of the page numbers written right there, man. But anyway, okay, I got a fold in here. But anyway, this one right here got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 8 was right. This is the same book, but it's explained by 8 different scholars. And you get to see their scholarship, where you can see their level. Like some scholars be above other scholars. So I love reading it, man. And I'm gonna try to explain this. I'm gonna go through some of this book, man, because we have a lot of misconceptions about shirk. We have a lot of misconceptions, man. I'm not saying worldwide, and maybe I should stop saying that, because I think mainly this area, sometimes I may put the perception of this area on the world, because a lot of the Muslims that I talk to that don't be in this city, that be in different states and stuff, we don't have these type of discussions. You know what I'm saying? We can sit down and talk about like real deen, you know. And I hate to sound like a bitter person, man, but like here, man, just unfortunately, man, anytime you sit down, you gotta discuss issues. Law didn't say this, and it's right there in the book. Oh, you ain't got the, you know, and it's all due from cats just really being scary, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's just unfortunate, due to their own admission, from them saying out of their mouth, man, if I wear a kufi, you know, the cops might bother me. What if some racist white guys try to jump me? You know, man, fear Allah, man. Put your trust in Allah. Put your kufi on, man. You ain't got to hide your Islam. You embarrassed to look like a Muslim, man. Like I say, there's rewards in that. You know what I'm saying? You could dress how you want to dress. That's cool, man. But make sure that your aura is covered. And make sure you ain't running around with no najis images and all type of foolishness all on your clothes. For Allah Azza wa Jal, you can't put people that Allah is not pleased with. You can't imitate the kuffar. Now you putting the kuffar on your clothes just to impress the kuffar. Hey, kuffar, be impressed with me. I got kuffars on my shirt. Come on, man. Come on, man. But, you know, it just is what it is. So I just wanted to clarify that, man. At least be mindful in your prayer. You know, if you ain't gonna put no thobe on, grab another shirt with you. Carry another shirt with you. That's long enough that your butt crack and stuff not gonna be. And like I say, man, these individuals stand up in front of me and stuff, man, and going like this. You know what I'm saying? Might even stand up and have a jacket on. It might be a little cold outside. They have a jacket on, but they shirt right here. So they stand up, they got a jacket on to come right here, but every time they stand up, they gotta keep pulling their shirt down. Come on, man. That's nudity, man. It's disrespectful for another Muslim man to have to see that and sitting up trying to chop it up with you and have a conversation with you. To me, in my head, that's like coming around me with a towel on. Like I come over your crib, you come answer the door in a towel and think I'm supposed to sit down and chop it up with you. That, like, but you know, I fall back on it, man, because I know what I'm dealing with. But we can't keep instilling this stuff in the new Muslims, man, because they gonna get worse. What they gonna pass on to the next generation? But you know, assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And like I say, man, y'all forgive me for the title. If I offended anybody, I'm not trying to, but I'm just trying to, man, enjoin the good and forbid the evil like a Muslim's supposed to do. If you see something being done, man, you at least gotta speak out about it, man. If you can't change it with your hands and your actions. You know? Y'all and you know, they reminded me of, you know, starting to remind me of the foreigners, man, like before. Because they don't want to wear those. They want to change their name, and we going in their stores and stuff, and they talking about us in those. It's disrespecting their culture. You disrespecting it by not wearing it. So brothers want to take it off. Hey man, you ain't finna talk me out of taking my thobe off, because it's a reminder that you sitting out here running around here dressed like a najis, man. But anyway, man, assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.